So, hey guys, today I wanted to pose a question, as my title says, if having multiple games is actually a solution to getting a better game. Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. Because, of course, mostly talking about like Love and Deep Space clearly and not home games, because I always feel like when it comes to a niche community or a niche kind of game, it's very, it's often that, like, I obviously don't want a monopoly, and I don't know if I can technically say there's a monopoly right now, because of course there are other otome games, but there's no 3D other otome game. And I feel like even if we do get competition, it'll have to be good quality. And the reason also I'm bringing this up is because I see a lot of people saying this on Reddit. So I'm going to ramble, obviously. Like, I'm not going to have a scripted kind of thing, but I've just always had this topic. Like, I always discuss it with my brother, but like, just look at what's happening in the waifu end of stuff when it comes to gotcha games. Like, there are a lot of good gotcha games out there, but they don't get the recognition like a lot of Hoyo games do, for example. Because, like, example, I play Nikke and I play Brown Dust, and I really think some of those games deserve the attention they have. Like, the quality, especially Brown Dust, the quality they put into the characters is really good. Again, coming from somebody who is who swings both ways. Like, I tend to not, like, of course there's some questionable stuff in some of those games, I'm not gonna sit here and lie, but at the end of the day, when it comes to quality, they do put a lot of good quality in the characters they release. But because since it's so saturated, and especially now with a lot of open world games coming out, it's getting to a point where, like, you can't really have a lot of competitors per se, because everyone was there saying like, ooh, why is going to like kill Genshin, and like, all that stuff, or even ZZ. People are saying stuff about ZZ like replacing Genshin and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the reason Genshin is where it is, at least I personally think, this is all my opinion obviously in this whole video, but why I think Genshin did well is because, one, it came out during COVID. That we can't use that as an excuse always, but why it's still doing well is because, like, what the quality they put into Genshin, I think, is really good. And I'm not saying that the other games don't do that, but like, still, they're able to retain their fan base in order to like keep getting the revenue they do. And I feel like, honestly, if you ask me, the killer for Genshin was technically sterile, because like, it's a different type of game entirely. You can't even put it in the same category when it comes to open world gotcha games. But in the sense of the quality the team does behind Hoyo Sterile, it's really a good, like, it's a good game. Because like, I feel like what how Genshin moved as a team, and I'm talking about the team itself, because of course they're all under Hoyo, but if you look at it, all Hoyo games don't do that well. Like, everyone was saying ZZ will do well because, again, it will be like one of the top, but like, look at, people forget there's Honkai Impact that exists, because I personally love Honkai Impact, but I just don't have time to play all the games. Like, I have to pick and choose which game I'm gonna play. And then, like, even Tears of Timas, for example, it's you'll think because it's under Hoyo that it will do a good, but technically it's not doing that well. Like, it's doing the best in the 2D. I think it's the best globally, but then it's not the best in China. Light Night does way, way better than Tears of Timas, for example, or even Beyond the Wild or something like that. Like, that one, even, it's like not doing, I thought it will do really good, but I honestly don't play that game to know why it's not doing as well. Because people are saying, oh, bring Light Night to Global, like, it will do well, you guys don't want money, you're afraid of money and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, say it comes. It will just do as much as Tears of Themas is. Maybe slightly better, because, again, personally speaking, it's a better game. Not saying that Tears of Themas is bad, but, in my opinion, again, this is all my opinion, I do like how Light Night is. Like, especially if they get good English VAs on that, and all that stuff, it will be top tier. But personally speaking, I don't even think it needs to get good English VAs. It will be a nice plus because it will bring more people into the market. But however, like I love their Korean dub, their Chinese dub. Like hands down, that's my favorite Chinese dub when it comes to otome games. Like there's no other one that has beaten it for me personally, because I am not a huge fan of Chinese anything in general. Like I only tend to watch comedy when it comes to Chinese. Same thing with Thai, but again, that's just a personal thing. It's not like as if they are doing any bad Chinese stuff when it comes to other games like Tears of Themas, or like I don't even know which other game is there otome games when it comes to open service or live action. Because I have never played Mystery Messenger or Obey Me. So I can't talk about those games. But anyways, back to the topic. I'm just rambling because basically I'm just trying to share my 2 cents right now. Because like think about it. Right now, as I was saying, it's so saturated in the waifu base. Because like of course, that's why we always have just like 2 leading and then like maybe one other game that comes up there. And I don't even know if those are even waifu games per se, because like example, it's normally like which game is this? Naruto, for example, or like what was the other one that went up really high? I don't know, because even AFK, I thought AFK Journey would be up there, but then it only went up there like for an event. Because again, I played the game, tried the game, but then again, because I have very limited time, I can't play all games. And then now, if I have time, like time is limited, money is even more limited for me personally speaking. So like I can't be here supplying like money to multiple games, because even like example in Sims 4, like this is why I say like maybe yes, having competition is a good thing, because like for Sims, for example, it has been monopoly for what, 20 years now, even more than 20 years I think now, or maybe this is its 20th year. I forget how old Sims in general is, like even from Sims 1. But like you see the fact that this one desperately needs monopoly, because EA is basically mistreating us, and I feel like it will definitely benefit, because again, me, I don't care if EA gets less money. That's even better for them, because people always like to think again. Yes, it does, because technically Genshin, I don't think Genshin, who were coming out, helped Genshin. It did take away a few people, definitely speaking, but in terms of revenue, Genshin is still up there. It still does better than Wuwa. Wuwa is not even getting any attention or as much attention as we thought in the Chinese market. And again, that's because of different reasons. It's not just simple things, but the fact that Wuwa didn't really dent Oyo's market that much. Like, he made a little ding, but he didn't dent it as much as a lot of people were hoping or claiming that it would. But anyways, back to Sims 4. Like technically, like inzoi coming out is definitely going to be a big thing. But you see, the thing is, even though inzoi comes out, will it have the quality? Like, I personally love inzoi, I'm team inzoi, but like regardless, will it have the quality and the be able to sustain the people that it's going to take away? Because like inzoi, first of all, won't be able to run on every person's computer. I personally wouldn't be able to play Enjoy when it comes out. Thank God they extended it. A lot of people are like, oh my God, they delayed the thing, and sad times and all that stuff, and they're disappointed. But I'm personally glad they did, because like it just gives me more time to wait with everyone else. I don't have a laptop to play it. And even if I'll be able to borrow my brother's laptop just to test it out, I'll probably only be able to play that one time. And I don't want to bug my brother with his laptop, you know what I mean? So like, I'm personally not going to be the market until I do get an upgrade for my laptop, which again, will reach the day. They will reach. And then, like, of course, there's also that other game for Paralives, which will probably get majority more people, because I'm assuming, we could all be wrong. We're all here assuming that this will run on regular PCs and laptops. But we don't know until they bring out the specs, until they show the gameplay, until they show what is needed to run the game itself. That's when we'll be able to gauge. But a lot of people are claiming and saying, oh, it has simple art style and all that stuff. Equals means that it can run on any type of PC. I highly think that that's probably not going to even be possible. Again, depending on how they're going to do their world, how they're going to do the AI systems, how they're going to do, all the background stuff that needs to make a game to run. like, and like how will their foundation, I really think that they're going to do a good foundation, because again, what they're showing so far has been really good. But regardless, until we're able to see the game in players' hands, that's how we'll be able to know if this game is going to be a good game, and even after plenty of DLCs do come into the game. Because even Enzoy, so far it seems like it's starting off on a good foundation. But again, as I always say, longevity and the company having keeping up with the bugs and glitches, keeping up with all these things that come later up in the game, can you continue building up on that foundation that you had? Because like currently Sims 4 didn't have the best foundation, in my opinion, and everyone knows this. That's why we just always have a broken game. But again, the reason also why Sims 4 has been having a monopoly for all this time, a live sim game is not easy to make. People think that a company can just come and make a live sim. A live sim is a very different and special type of game. And I hate that a lot of people, again, I'm rambling here and just diverting to another topic, but I hate that people think that, oh, you like live sim games or you like Sims 4, you're not a gamer. But if you think about it, it takes a lot of PC power and background stuff to go into a live sim, because it's not just, oh, you're playing a linear type of game, or oh, you're playing some type of narrowed open world decision situation. Because if you think about it, a lot of games tend to just have the world generated around the character. In games that, at least live sim, there's always background things going on, especially if you want it to run the way we want it to run. In the example, families are continuing their background, people's lives are continuing, people are dying, people's lives or stories are continuing in the background. And especially the Enzo is doing a kind of neighborhood open world thing. We'll see how that even goes, because again, that's a lot of reason why Life by You would have never worked, with the whole way it was trying to make its system of I'm sorry, I laugh every time I think about Life by You. It was not going to work. Literally. The fact that they had such little people when they were showing us the game, it was so sad, because I personally would not have those little people. Especially when I play my Sims 4, I tend to have multiple families happening, like cousins and aunties, and then those aunties and cousins and nephews and stuff end up having kids. And then instead of that, just not only because of that, there are other people, NPCs, that are also doing the same. And I always end up having 200 plus people. I always end up having unlimited as to what Sims 4 blocks, even though that's just played households or households in my households. Just even that, I always end up hitting the limit of the safe limit or recommended limits that they give. But anyways, regardless, in this scenario, a monopoly will make EA shaking its boots. But at the same time, I still think they'll get a heavy audience. They have a loyal fan base. And you see, right now with Deep Space, I don't know if I can say they're getting a loyal fan base. In a sense, they are, because that's why, honestly, sometimes a small part or a certain part of the community is definitely toxic with the way they move, either with wanting the game to fail or with wanting the game to do good. Again, at the end of the day, games will always have that, regardless of how big or small the game is. But anyways, let's get back to the saturation situation. Do people really think having competition in a game is going to help the game? Because think about it. If you have only $100, $1,000, $500 to spend on a game, and this mostly goes to spenders, do you have extra money to spend on another game? Would you be supporting both games? Would you be able to have the time to play both games? Yes, competition is good, but personally speaking, most of the time, people choose a game. Especially with our schedules, especially if you're making money, you're probably working, so you don't have time to be able to play both games. Because example, I would have loved to play Ƒөťũ. I love Ƒөťũ. Ƒөťũ is a very good game in my opinion. It has its cons, just the same way Genshin has its cons. There's no perfect game out there, but I am not able to play Ƒөťũ the way I thought I would. It just got to a point that I reached endgame so fast that I was not able to sustain playing the game the way I would have wanted to play the game. Because I think even I probably play Genshin more than Wuwa, which is a surprise because I'm kind of on a hiatus with Genshin, but I still get into the game once in a while for farming reasons. Because especially with the updates that I've done for the quality of life in Genshin, it's slowly bringing me back to that game because like I leveled up to past AR 47, 45, sorry. So like or at AR 45, and like it got so hard for me to get to my characters to 80. Like it's not even that much of a jump, it's like literally just 10 more levels, but like it's so hard, or it was so hard for me to farm for people, like, you know, trying to find where they are. Then I have to use the interactive map, which is on a separate situation, look at a phone, do all that. Like, of course, it's just putting more work that I had to do that I didn't feel like doing because, again, time. So like it was nice that they did bring a lot of quality of life, like even the crafting system, like how you can just select the character and like all their stuff are their talents, artifacts. I think artifacts are there. I don't even remember, but anyways, weapons is there and all that stuff. So it makes it so much more easier and stuff. And people will probably like to argue like, oh, Wuwa is the one that brought those changes, but people have to think that while something is released, especially a lot of stuff that they brought just while Wuwa came out, they're not like shaking their boots and they're like, okay, let's code something right now and like, you know, ship it out to the people. Like people have to logically think that a lot of these things are in a year of making. Like even the theater thing of the end game, quote unquote. I still don't know if that's really end game. I'm not touched that. I'm probably never touching it. But like literally, the theater thing was probably discussed like months in advance, years in advance, like way before Wuwa was even a thing. And also a thing that I would like to also notice that a lot of these companies talk to each other, or they have somebody who knows what the other company is doing. So it's not just something that the company is surprised when something is released. At least that's what I tend to think. Like, you know, it's not just something that, oh, Wuwa is having better exploration, let's add this kind of characters in our game, you know? These characters were probably being discussed again years in advance. Like you can't just make a character in a few months and release them. And I mean, well, a few months is like 1 to 2 months, you know? That's just dumb. It's not going to happen. Like a lot of people saying like, oh, this company is copying this other company, well, these things are coming out and all that stuff, or well, outfits or mini games and stuff like that. It's not gonna be like that. So like anyways, when it comes to deep space, I feel like that huge revenue that's being pumped into Love and Deep Space would either be divided, so it will reduce it. And I'm talking about CN only, because even just looking at global, we don't have that high of a revenue to compete with games like Genshin. Because honestly, if we did, like if we be chucking in what 30K, how much do these guys even put in for global alone? Like 25. Like, you know, they'd be having a lot of numbers just for global, and I'm talking global alone. Like if we were as a global audience pumping in the same amount that the Genshin community was, Love and Deep Space couldn't be beaten. Like literally, the reason it's up there is because of the Chinese market. Like they literally pump in so much money into this game. And again, if a game comes in just as good as Love and Deep Space, or even better, like you'll see that revenue being split. So then Love and Deep Space won't be at the top of the revenue anymore. Like again, that's literally my opinion. Like it's not that bringing in something new is going to improve Love and Deep Space. It might. It just might. But at the same time, it won't really change as much. It won't change much for how the game is moving in itself. Because like again, like Mr. Love, even for example, there are a lot of things that Mr. Love does better than Tears of Themas, for example. But I would rather put in my money for Tears of Themas because of the content they release. Like I personally prefer spending on outfits, on backgrounds, on some name cards from time to time. So like I would rather spend money on those stuff. When I look at Mr. Love, personally speaking, again, this is a personal situation because I never spend money on Gotcha. I try not to because that's just getting into gambling habits that I don't want to do. But again, depending on a very specific situation that I might want to spend. I'm not saying that I'll never, but I try not to. But like anyways, Mr. Love, like I tend to only like spending on the monthly pass, and maybe that's it. And like the form of battle pass. And like sometimes even when it comes down to me finally paying when it's about to wrap up, I decide not to because I was not playing the game as often as I should, so then I've not built up enough for the battle pass to spend on it. But regardless, this is just a question I wanted to raise with you guys. Like, is competition really a good thing, especially in the sense of it being it's being produced to a niche market? Because people like to say that, oh, bring light, like especially light and night. People say that all the time, but I am 100, oh, okay, not 100, I'll say maybe, I'll give people leeway, so I'll say 80% sure that a lot of these people are not spenders. They're free to play players. And again, they're not the people who bring the money into the game. They're the ones who probably spread the game out to more people. But at the end of the day, games like this need money. Regardless, they need money. So even if like Late Night will be at a loss, I'm not saying that they're never gonna bring the game to global, but they'll be at a loss coming into global if the spending market is only going to be 100K. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if they can pay, I hope they come and they're able to like hit the millions. I will be so happy because honestly, as I said, Light Night is a very good game. It has very good quality. The way they make the cards, the events that they bring. I love their events. They do very, 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 very good events. I have shown a few on my channel. I'm supposed to edit one for the summer and to upload it. But again, I was thrown out from that server because I'm not Chinese. So I don't have access to my account anymore. But I'm just going through the Korean game like server right now, and I'm like, I was low-key pissed with the game because I got locked out. But then I'm starting to get back in the groove of playing the game every day because again, as I said, I don't have much time and I play like around 10 games. Of course, some of them I don't play them. I've even ended up dropping Love Brush because like, again, that's another game that has very good quality in it. Like the characters they make, the cards they make is nice. I'll say the gameplay is not the worst. It's very interesting. The story is really good, but again, I am a story skipper. But from what I've read and what I've heard other people say, it's a really good game. But look, it's not even getting their attention. A lot of people don't even know what Love Brush is. Like when I talk to a lot of Otome people, they don't know that game. But at the end of the day, I would like to spread the word for that game, personally speaking, because they like, it's a good game, but it's not getting the recognition that it should be getting. So like that's what I'm saying. Like it's one of those things. Like at the end of the day, if you do get competition for love and deep space, would it really help the game? Like I personally speaking as a manager in that company, I would not want competition. Again, yes, it's probably better for the player to some extent, but it will take a lot of people for Love and Deep Space to that new game. It will obviously will. And even if people play both games, a lot of people will have to pick and choose which game they want to spend on. Because even again, well, Love and Deep Space came out. I'm probably going into circles right now. You get my point, hopefully. But like, well, Love and Deep Space came out, I was not spending as much as I was in Tears of Timbers, for example. And even when Wuwa came out, I was not spending as much as I was in Genshin. Like, you know, I have to choose where my money is going because, again, I'm a very low spender and I don't make that much money anyways. I technically don't make any money, but the money I get, I can't be spreading it out on everywhere. Then I also have my life things happen, so I can't spend on gaming sometimes. So it's one of those things like, for the spenders out there, if competition came out and these are people who are saying they want competition. If competition came out and this new game was genuinely way better and they treated the audience better and they gave us like good diamonds and all that stuff better than Deep Space did, would you still be spending on Deep Space? I highly doubt that. Why would you want to spend on a game that does that? Like, why would you not want to spend on a game that's doing better? Like, you'll obviously pour all your money into that instead. Like, you know, so that's how I'm saying. It's like, yes, it might help and make a company do better things, but what better? Like, I'm really curious. What much more better do you think Love and Deep Space will do? I still feel like they'll move the same because, again, this is Infold we're talking about. I do not like Infold stroke paper games. Like, Like, even freaking Infinite Nikki is coming out. Of course I'm hyped. Like, who is not going to be hyped? Somebody who, like, especially me, who likes dress-up games and gotcha games and, like, open world type of games. But, you know, at the end of the day, I'll probably not even play Infinite Nikki. One, I don't have a device. Two, because again, I was hoping it was coming to PlayStation 4. But again, they went back on that. They didn't even promise it, really. But, like, they're only doing PlayStation 5. So I don't even think I'll have a device to play it. I don't think my phones will be compatible. I don't think my PC will be. So at the end of the day, I'll probably not even be able to play it, because every time they do those survey things, mine is just outside that recommendation. Because again, I have a potato PC and I'm working on upgrading it, or even hopefully getting a PlayStation 5. But you know, life happens. So I always end up having to use the savings, or say put that savings somewhere else. So like, yeah, like, I'm so hyped for that game. But knowing this company, they really could give two shits about their audience, especially their free-to-play audience. They do not care. And a lot of people are coming into Deep Space thinking that this is its only game. No, honey, it's not. It's not its only game. They have so many games out there. They have all the Nikki games, from Love Nikki to... I even forget the other one right now, but they have all their Nikki games, and they have Mr. Love, and just look at the audience that's already in those games. Again, Love and Deep Space got a lucky hit because, again, it's a good quality game. It's 3D, it has combat, it's taking the otome situation in a different light. It's breaking the boundaries of, like, niches or tropes and stuff like that. And, like, you know, it's bringing in a lot of more people into the game. Because a lot of people, this is their first otome game. And I still get surprised because, like, I'm coming from a perspective who plays otome games and then also plays gotcha games and then also plays other games. So I know the different type of communities that are out there. And again, a lot of people in the otome game, even the cozy gamers, they tend to be more open with what a company would do to them. And I'm not going to say that they allow a company to mistreat them per se, but just look at Sims 4. Like, they release shit, we still take that shit. People say, oh, we're not going to buy the packs. But then watch the revenue next month. It's like, it's still doing really good. It's doing like, we are not on a hiatus or like a ban, like not spend money on EA or don't give them their money. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not even going to sit here and hate on those people because sometimes I do that myself. Like, you know, I'm there like, oh, I'm overspending EA. At least I'm now. But still... I used to say that for me to go, oh, they're selling this like stuff pack. You know, this is a stuff pack I've wanted. I'm going to buy. Oh, this expansion pack has interesting features. I'm going to buy it. But of course, I buy it on sale, obviously. But still, that is still giving revenue to that company at the end of the day. So I'm just like if a game does actually come out that has competition, I just hope this game is not going to come and play with us and mistreat us and just give us shit and we'll accept it because, you know, it's what we have been asking for. Like, you know, because at the end of the day, everyone is here saying, oh, we want an open world husbando game. And I'm like, girl, tell me here. Who will who will spend money on that game? Would you? The one who is saying that? If you will, okay. Tell me how much you'd spend. Okay, how many people are those are? Then I'm like, okay, will you play the other games that you're saying that need the competition for? You know what I mean? Like, those questions need to be answered. Because I, personally speaking, really love Love and Deep Space right now. And of course, they need to improve on a lot of things. I always complain every day. I'm always ranting almost every other day to my brother. He's probably tired and his ear is falling off. But at the end of the day, I can see the good they're doing in the game. I can see the money going back into the game. I can see the quality in the cards that they do. I can see the effort they're putting in the events, especially this event coming out. There's a lot of people saying, oh, no, my type, I don't like furry stuff or animal-esque stuff. So they're like, oh, not for me. And it's childish or whatever, or too cutesy for me. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are happy about this banner that's coming up. I was supposed to do a video about it, but I don't know. I'm just recording it on my phone now, so I hope the audio is okay because this is a one-take kind of thing. So I hope my audio is fine. But yeah, it's just hard for me to not have my streaming situation anymore because like it helps in the sense of editing and like I don't overthink and I don't have to like over edit stuff. But like anyways, what was I saying? I even forgot right now. I literally forgot my train of thought. But like, yeah, I just feel like I'm just scared of like a company coming in and giving us shit. Like literally, I'm not gonna say Life by You people did that, but it literally felt like they were doing that. And I like that there was a lot of pushback on the quality of the game. That I don't know if that's what ended up getting the game to be cancelled, but I don't know how Paradox was moving with the game even like that in the first place. It was a very unorganized team, in my opinion. Like what kind we in whose mind somebody saw that and said, okay, let's push this out. I'm sure they'll love it. Like, why? Like, we can see your idea. Your idea is nice. Again, that's why even the hype even started in the first place. But you can't ride on that for the rest of the time. Like, you need to show, your words need to be put in action. Again, that's what I always say. Like, you cannot just be making some shitty ass game and expecting everyone to come and get that game from you or get that game. So that's why I'm saying I feel like I'm so scared another company will come and just try to mistreat us with their systems and their money and their, like, and be greedy and all that stuff. Like, even Where in Hell is Bad. Like, I literally was so excited for that game. I played it, I was happy. But then, well, I started just seeing how the company is moving in such a greedy way. I decided to drop the game because I'm like, I'm not gonna be manipulated like this. Again, I was not gonna spend money in that game because I have no money to spare. So I was going to be a free-to-play player. And I was like, such a company like this don't give two shits about their free-to-play players. Like, they've made systems or they've made updates, again, after I've left, but they've made updates to make the game worse for free-to-play players. And like, I'm not gonna sit there arguing every other day, stressing myself for a company I know is not gonna listen. Like, they're just not gonna listen. So that's why I'm just like, it reaches a point. Because even that's why I low-key started dropping Genshin, because like I was tired of always asking for quality of life for all those years that I played Genshin, for them to finally do it now. Of course, now they have probably gotten me back as a gamer, but at the end of the day, it's still not gotten me back as a full-time gamer. As a full-time player, because like there's just too much. You took too long. You took too long, honey, for me to like fully come back and play your game every day. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I hope that this doesn't happen to Deep Space as well, because of course it always happens. And you can never satisfy everyone. Because example, like right now, or even just in general, like, well, banners come up, there's always that side that's happy, oh, we are getting new content, and then there's that side that's, oh my god, it's overwhelming, I don't have any savings, or like, I can't keep spending money on this game. So it's like, who do you satisfy? There's no in between. There can never be any in between, because even if you give like 1 more day, 2 more days, 3 more days, the people who want content now are gonna be upset. There's just no way to please the community. But again, honestly, one thing I would hope is that they just continue improving their systems. They just continue like giving us more resources that we are asking for. Like, you need to have a good balance of listening to your community, and of course the right side of the community, because at the end of the day, a company can decide to listen to the community, but which side are you listening to? Are you listening to the minorities? Are you listening to the people who are making loud noises and like ending up dropping a percentage of your game, of your players? Like, anyways, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that competition is not good. I'm just saying that a lot of people would want competition, but that's not going to solve your problems. Because I highly think that Infold will just look at this competition and be like, oh, okay, you're coming in trying to take our players, fine. And they'll continue with their day. You know what I mean? Look at how EA is moving, for example. Just look at how EA is moving. Like, they literally could give two shits about inzoi and freaking Paralives. You wait until they finally come out. Maybe, just maybe, that's when they'll start to listen. Because even they made this whole press thing of like, oh, we have a team that's working on fixing the game. But it's like, the game is still fucking broken, y'all. It's still broken. And I'm like, I'm so over it. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, just from the experiences I've had from other communities of games situations, competition is never always the answer. yes, it may help in the case of, I guess, technically Genshin Wuwa situation, but I still feel like Genshin didn't start coding things as soon as Wuwa came out. You know what I mean? These are things that they had from day one, or like not even day one, but like in discussion, in like changing situations. Like I'm sure even the company can come out and tell us. Like, they had the theater thing in the works, and then they just probably decided to release it because they're like, you know what, we need to get feedback from the players. And they're still working on fixing that theater thing. But I don't think that theater thing came out because Wuwa was knocking at the door. Like, look how many much more open worlds are coming or promised to be coming. There's NTE, there's freaking, what do you call that other game? As in 4 million. And I'm like, I'll personally play those games, but can they take the attention away from me, like from Genshin? Like, they might have good systems, they might have better systems, obviously. Like, look at Wuwa. Wuwa has better exploration. But do I play Wuwa? No. I don't play Wuwa as much as I would like. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know. Like, it's one of those things, like, I feel like it'll really be damaging for the other game, especially if it doesn't hit its mark. And then I don't know, it might even also be damaging to Love and Deep Space. But at the same time, again, monopoly in games is never good. So at the end of the day, yes, a competition will be nice. And me, I'll sit here and enjoy it because, like, more boys for me. At the end of the day, more boys for me. But yeah. Because again, people like to say, ooh, husbandos don't sell. And I'm just like, but do you guys have money to spend on those husbandos? Like, I would love to see an open world husbando game. Like, I don't even know how they'll design all the outfits. Because someone even posed this question. Like, there's this video I was watching and saying, like, you know what sucks when it comes to husbandos in general? A lot of companies don't give too much difference in outfits per se, or like the characters differences. They always tend to have the same things, but it depends again, because like honestly what Starrel is doing, you continue cooking because I'm here for those husbandos. Like, like they're literally doing well when it comes to the husbando situation. I'm so curious how Wuba is going to move with the husbando realm, because like right now, we only have, 2 limited husbandos, so we'll see. I'm not even going to talk about Zizi because that game disappointed me. Fuck that game. Okay, I'm sorry. I have a agenda about that game. But, like, literally, the way they're moving the husbandos as well, I'm like, what the heck? Do they have one? No, they don't have one. And one is coming soon. Like, what you mean? They have not had unlimited husbando yet. And I don't even like that cup coming one. But regardless, Seth should have been a 5-star, but then his game style is not even all that. Anyways, I could talk all day about just husbandos in game. If you're interested in that topic, I can literally just rant or even just gush on the husbandos that are currently in games. Like, I swear. Like, I feel like... And then, of course, I don't even know meta, so it will be so interesting to talk to people who know meta. Because, like, it just sucks that, especially, like, in Genshin, Star Rail, all these games, they tend not to have the best kits for these husbandos that come out. Anyways, it's just also one of those things. And again, a game like Brown Dust, I would love for them to add more husbandos there, but... They say they're scared. They say it themselves. So God knows if you're even going to get new skins for this game. When it comes to the husbandos. And I'm sure you're surprised there's even husbandos in that game. There is beyond the booba and all the waifus, there are husbandos in those games. But anyways, I just hope that we can start a conversation about... competition in general, and like it's not always the solution. It may help in the sense of the community itself, because again, for me, that's more for me. So, but in the sense of revenue for a certain company, sometimes it's not really the best solution, because it will take a lot of players from said company. Because I am waiting for the day inzoi and freaking Paralives comes out so I can see EA having zero money. Okay, they won't have zero. They'll still have their loyal following, as I've already said previously in the video. But like, I am waiting for that day. But regardless, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching my rambling up until this point. I'm sure I'll probably upset a couple of people just giving my 2 cents. But at the end of the day, I still think it's an opinion or debate that needs to be addressed, in the sense. Because there's always different opinions out there, but at the end of the day, it's the facts that will be able to answer that question. A lot of people are talking hypothetically, but are they payers? Are they free-to-play players? Are they slow spenders? Are they whales? Like, who is raising this question? But anyways, hope you have a good day, and I will see you in my next video. Toodles.